Started working on another deck, and it's also been pretty promising. We're 3-0 in a league right now with this mono green, 4 Demolition Field, 4 Field of Ruin, 4 Ghost Quarter, Delighted Halfling, Green Sun Zenith, 6 Spore Frog. I don't know. I think this deck is undeniably a Maverick deck. It's a kind of fair Toolbox Green Sun Zenith show where you are really in on Freestrider Lookout and using your lands to trigger Freestrider Lookout to get more lands. So you Field of Ruin, trigger Freestrider, get another Field of Ruin, really ramp, get a lot going. Freestrider Lookout with Ghost Quarter is also pretty dang good, where you just like it turns it in kind of into a regular Field of Ruin that costs 0 mana to activate that can target basics, which is really cool. And then you can try to assemble stuff like Ramunap Excavator, Ghost Quarter with Green Sun. You could try to assemble Spore Frog +6, which has been pretty cool so far, being able to just retrace Spore Frog every single turn. You can try to assemble Sylvan Safekeeper plus Titania. I think I actually want to cut the second Titania for an Emrakul, either like an Emrakul the Promised End or like the 4th copy of 6. But I think the second copy has been kind of redundant, since one really nice thing with this deck is if you lose any of your combo pieces, like if they kill your Excavator, if they kill your Safekeeper, if they kill your Frog, you have 6 to retrace them, and you have a Shifting Woodland to copy them. So you're pretty good at buying these back. 3-0 so far. I'm trying to remember the matchups. I know that I played against a blue-white player who I Veil of Summered them twice, and then they said, "I used to admire your work," and then rage quit, which was very sad, actually. Very sad. But I wanted to finish this league where I was 3-0 on stream, so that's where we're at. Okay, so my opponent's on the play. I'm going to go and mulligan this on the draw with no Halfling, no Green Sun, not a lot of action going on. This hand is much better. Turn 2, Freestrider plus Bauble. Might actually keep the Endurance. Let's keep the Endurance on the draw. Any chance you might get to see the Orzhov Blink deck that got second in Ottawa? Well, maybe. I mean, and the answer is actually just no, but ooh, they have turn 2 Flip Tommy on the play. So it's like, how do I put this? On this stream, we've basically always focused on me just trying to share my ideas and deck building and showing off the new brews I'm working on. That's always been what I've been interested in. And that's basically all I want to do on the stream. That's what I want this stream to be. You coming here, seeing like the latest stuff I'm working on. And for me, that's what I'm interested in, and that's what I think causes the stream to be successful also. I do think that it could be the case that there is a deck that is doing really well that I could just want to play on stream, right? And show off, but for the most part, I think this is just not something that I've basically ever done, and there are plenty of modern content creators who just go, okay, we're gonna play the tournament deck from last weekend. Looks like our opponent's playing. I like Edgar's Breach build, maybe. Yeah, Edgar was playing Breach with all these portable holes in the main. It was pretty cool. They do choose Underworld Breach, so we're gonna hope to draw a green card for the Endurance, which would trigger Freestrider Lookout too. So you know what I mean? It's like this is what I like. I like to work on my own decks. I like to show off my new ideas. Okay, there's our green card. Thought my hand was pretty good. Key Curator, Scavenging Ooze, Collector Ouphe as Green Sun targets. I forgot about Ouphe for some reason. We should have an Ouphe. I'm a big hater at the moment of Curator and Ooze, but I think you could play these cards. I have Endurance as Green Sunnable. Hate. I did meant to add an Ouphe and forgot to add one to the board. So they're targeting Grinding Station with the Emery. I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of pretend I'm F6'd and then try to Endurance in response. Although I guess I actually even could lose here if they have another 0 mana artifact in their hand. Maybe I should have just Endurance in response to the Grinding Station target, because then they can minus the Tamio kind of effectively here. Although if they minus Tamio, then maybe I get to kill it with the Freestrider. If nobody knows, I can go look at Edgar's list. This looks like Edgar's RC list, but I'm trying to think. So I guess the best time to endurance would be no, because they can cast the Bauble here. We'll just endurance now. There's talk of Breach getting banned. What are your thoughts? I don't know. Maybe. It's a very good deck. Breach is a really broken card. Opal was a really big buff to it. I also do think that there are a ton of sideboard cards that are quite good against the archetype. I think that it's like, to some extent, it seems like the metagame could adjust to be good against Breach, but it also seems like maybe the plans that are really good against Breach are just not going to be that popular. We'll see. So they build a Rumble, Grinding Station, Spire. They minus the Tamio. They have a mana here. They have a Rumble in their hand again. Casting that Rumble, they're going to need a Mox or something. Look, I'm pulling up Edgar's list. Looks like one basic island, which is potentially just in play there. So I may be able to really get them. They say I punted. Yes. We do have a Spore Frog in the deck. Ain't we dying or something? Well, we got a 0 mana interactive spell, thankfully. And I get to go kill 2 of their lands here, too, which is nice. I also get to kill the Tamio. So the Tamio minus, so it seems like we'll be able to attack the Tamio with the Dryad Arbor. Okay, field. Hold on, sorry. Can I do it all? Actually, I can go field, get a land, field, get a land. Okay, never mind. Let's leave the Arbor back so we can actually just get them to 0 mana. I thought they could have just won with Station Mox through it. So the problem with that is they'll have 3 cards in the yard, which won't be enough to like escape a Thassa's Oracle if they do the thing. I do think they could have done it a little different. Okay, hopefully our opponent's playing Edgar's list, but they need to get 1 more card in the yard after that. So my opponent won't be manaless because they'll have the Mox Amber at least. Opponent did say they punted. Well, I'm not sure. I think what they were saying is that they punted by not activating Tamio first, but maybe I'm misunderstanding. So, oh, they punted by minusing the Tamio and then they couldn't keep doing anything. But also, if they just, I guess they could have done the loop, and it kind of depends on just where is the Thassa's Oracle? Because I think if it's not like in the bottom, like 6 cards, that they don't get to kill me. Well, this has been quite the swingy game. My opponent has no lands in play after almost combo killing me on turn 2, or turn 3. They're recovering on their mana. Now they have 2 mana. They still have a Malevolent Rumble in their hand as well. I don't quite have Delirium for Shifting Woodland. Nor do I really have much I'd want to copy yet. There's a copy of 6, which is interesting. So let me go ahead and Ghost Quarter them. We're Collector. I did actually forget to add the Collector Ouphe. I'm not sure what happened. Okay, so let's go Retrace Endurance. Did I see the new Affinity card? I haven't seen any spoilers since last week. Gonna retrace the Bauble so that we can trigger Freestrider on our opponent's turn. We can attack with our Freestrider as well here. It's like, this is like, I built the main deck, I meant to add the Ouphe, and I built the sideboard and forgot about Ouphe. Okay, so we've got a new affinity card, Voyage Home. 7 mana affinity for artifacts. You draw 3 cards and gain 3 life. So this is the same casting cost as Thought, or same mana value as Thought Monitor, but costs blue-white instead of blue. Draws an extra card, doesn't come with a 2/2 flyer, and also gains 3 life. I think I would rather have an extra card and 3 life than a 2/2 flyer most of the time. Kind of cool that it offsets Bowmasters a little bit. Cool card. So very unlucky to brick on the Freestrider here. Okay, so we're up a game against Breach. Now I want to bring in the Force of Vigors against them. This is another thing maybe about the Ouphes is it's like we have 4 Force of Vigors, but and then also in this matchup, like I potentially want to be on a more artifact heavy plan. So I think that I'm going to be cutting my Spore Frog. I think I'm going to trim a copy of 6. Let's keep in the Ramunap Excavator because it seems like the Ghost Quarter plan is particularly good against our opponent. We can trim a Titania. We can trim a Nissa. I might just cut my Rumbles. Although I guess the Endurances are a lot of times better than the Relics because they like block Tamio and they're like less visible. No, I think they're maybe just a little bit too card intensive. We just keep 1 Endurance as a Green Sun target. Lag is seeming good so far. I think it maybe could contribute this to all the shredding I did. Maybe I'll play 2nd Endurance over 4th Bauble. We did bring in all these relics actually. So maybe when you bring in all the relics, you can cut the baubles, and these are like your extra crime generators. I kind of want to have 1 for 6. We gotta play 1. Get going kind of all over the place. Let's try this. This looks good. What does Maverick mean? So Maverick is kind of in the name as a meme, right? Because I don't think it really means much. But typically Maverick is like fair green Sun Zenith deck. But I like to joke on Maverick players because I've seen people call their deck Maverick without green Sun Zenith. I've seen people call their deck Maverick when it's like Sultai Splash White, Abzan, green white, Naya, mono green. So it's like loosely fair green Sun Zenith deck, but it has kind of like lost all meaning, or maybe never had any meaning to begin with. Okay, opponent's on a mold of 6. Let's keep this. I also think Force of Vigor is one of the best ways to fight the Breach deck, and I don't think there's a ton of Force of Vigors at the moment. Not that many green decks. Do you want to cut Nissa with Endurance being good? We're not super duper good at triggering Nissa in this deck because we're not playing fetch lands, but there were a couple times I wanted to green sun for it. But yeah, maybe we could bring it in. Or leave it in. Yeah, this deck is really nice. Really came together well. I feel like a lot of it's like combination of ideas we've learned over the last couple months. That's right, founding the 3rd path in Jessica looting control. I think it's very cool how it works with Wrath Disguise and seems to fuel the whole deck. I haven't tried that, no. It is cool with Wrath Disguise, I agree. I guess I'm waiting on the Field of Ruin here or on the Relic here. Since it seems like I don't want to be playing into the portable hole. My opponent does not sack the Bauble so that their Mox Opal can be online. I feel like you've played a ton of green lately. Would you say it's the best color in Modern at the moment? I don't think I would say that. They rumble over Lavinia. Lavinia? I guess I subs got this stuff, huh? Or the Wara Breeding Pool Saga. They choose the Saga. And then I'm going to respond and I'm going to hit the Saga and the Amber here. Yeah, I would not say it's the best color. I would say that maybe it's more so just like the color that has the most brew potential. Maverick is traditionally Knight of the Reliquary and Thalia. Yeah, this is the thing though. It's like I used to be like a just exclusively a legacy player, and like this is what people would tell me about Maverick, but people would just call their deck Maverick without either of those cards sometimes, and so I just Maverick has like lost its meaning, but I think it's fun to have it in the title. And also people have been asking for like this style of deck, and we kind of finally got there, I think. So we can rumble to enable Kozilek's command, although we would maybe let them use the Bauble if we did that. Okay, seeing this Tamio, it seems like I should Should have my endurance just at the ready here. Get to get rid of the Bauble and get to threaten to block the Tamiyo. They've got no cards in their hand at the moment. Did they consider sowing Mycospawn for the deck? I didn't think much about sowing Mycospawn. No. I feel like you would really want to get Eldrazi Temple into the deck if you were going to play Mycospawn. I guess they do actually get to flip the Tamiyo in combat, huh? Yeah, it's like it's very tough to fit Eldrazi Temple into the deck, or you would cut Ghost Quarters for it, so that'd be maybe fine. But I think the Ghost Quarters are really important. They've been quite good with Freestrider in general, and oh my gosh, I clicked through my blocks. Well, I guess I respond. I punted as well. Although I think my opponent's just gonna flip the Tamiyo anyways, so should be okay. I checked out the band. No counterspell control that made day 2 at the Canadian RC. Had a decent record day 1, but fell apart day 2. I've not seen this. I've not looked too closely at the RC list yet. 4 Orms chance, 0 counterspells. Yeah, this is like not the first time a deck like this has done well at an event. Like this like Orms chance control deck where you're just trying to like chant until you assemble Narset Dazen Dude, but you only have 1 Dazen doing, so maybe that's not actually as much of the plan. You've called this deck Bant. It's splashing just for Rumble. Wow, that's actually kind of crazy. Wonder if I would ever exile the Spawn. Let me see what we rumble into here. I think I am going to exile the Spawn and scry draw. Could also see making a Spawn being better to easier double spell next turn. Okay, I did click bottom. We drew a halfling anyways, which isn't the worst. It's like another colorless mana for next K command. And then we could maybe go like Ramunap Excavator, play Forest, then we can start, and then the turn after we can double Demolition Field, get them down to just 1 land. Keep pressuring Tamiyo. Yeah, I don't know, it looks interesting. You're also splashing for binding, I guess. The rumbles are kind of wild. I've been kind of daydreaming a little bit about Null Drifter, Shifting Woodland in the control deck, but it's probably not really somewhere you want to be. Went through again with the 21 months. Thank you. Welcome back. I can see swapping out 4 field effects, read temples, and keeping Ghost Quarters. Yeah, you'd have more land destruction with the Mycospawns. Could be something to do. Okay, so they get to sack the Opal to mill a little bit more here. Kind of a dangerous position if they have a breach. Wait, they're not going to play the Opal? Because an Opal from the hand. Oh, they milled the island. I just noticed that. That is good news. So if I draw a land, I can go Demolition Field into a 3-drop here. Draw Green Sun Zenith. They can't play Opal without Breach. Can they not just use Emry to cast Opal here? What am I missing? They can't play Opal without Breach. Could they not have just put it back into play with Emry? I don't think I'm missing anything. I've got plenty of action. I don't think I'm just going to put the Arbor into play. Oh, wait, no, I pitched the Arbor this game. Ooh, close one. Close one. Is Yavimaya worth considering? No. Yavimaya is really bad in your field Ghost Quarter deck, and like there's huge downsides, and we have very few double green cards. Y'all are always so thirsty for Yavimaya Urborg in your field decks, but it's very valuable to be able to not play those cards. All right, so do they have a breach? They do. They did find another land. Modus performance issues are destroying my willingness to test for Charlotte. I will say that I have found shredding most of my cards. I shredded about 20,000 cards over the weekend, and the lag has been much better on my end. It seems like maybe a lot of my opponents are still struggling, but this seemingly has solved my problems, and may it solve yours as well. How many cards do you have now? Almost none. I have like 2,000. Those are the ones that aren't shreddable. How do you shred virtual cards? So there's something called Goat Shredder bots. Then they'll shred them for you. I've set the priority mode to real time and Task Manager got the lag got a lot better. Yeah, I'm a little bit scared to do that for streaming performance, but I do think that's something you could do. Yeah. Double check the deck real quick. Maybe I should have just already gotten a Freestrider there. I think we'll just cast the 6 though. So these cards are worth like 0.01 tick, but less than that, like 0.003 or less. They're just actual worthless cards. Thoughts on the viability of Freestrider coffers in today's modern? I don't know if I would play Freestrider coffers necessarily. It feels like you don't really want to be playing like kind of fragile 3-drops, but I did like K-Command a lot when we played coffers, so I would try to maybe circle back to that kind of shell. So they target a Mox Amber here. I guess we're dead to a breach still. Silly me for forgetting the Collector Ouphe. Are we going back to Keenson's Fleshraker anytime soon? Yeah, hopefully today. I have it ready, and I thought that's what we'd start with, but this deck just ended up being a bit too promising, I guess. So they rumble over Spire, Tomio, another Spire, and a Spell Pierce. Just wondering, Collector Ouphe off sideboard could have been great value. Yeah, you may have just not heard me a moment ago, but I did mean to add a Collector Ouphe. I did forget. This is still like a really early draft. I just kind of happened to start off 3-0 and then wanted to finish the league on stream like I like to do. Okay, another Tomio. So I could maybe go Ramunap Excavator, play a Demolition Field, Kozilek's Command. Although I feel like it's also really valuable to get to kill that last land. I also kind of like the idea if we can hit a colorless land, we could do something like exile Emry and then scry draw, and we could be looking for a Force of Vigor here. We'd be pretty likely to hit. We have 3 left in the deck. All this green questing beast on this list. What are you talking? Questing beast? That card is not one that I really register as modern playable, I guess. Lag does seem to be getting worse again. Yeah, I guess I am going to be exiling Emry and just scry drawing, looking for Force of Vigor. Try enabling and disabling the zoom. Is that something that works? Don't hate the Ghost Quarter. We could double field them next turn. I'm just going to be digging for the Force, I guess. Turn off animations. Animations are turned off. Auto sizing is turned off, I believe. I think we've done everything we can. It's, it is what it is at this point. They return the Rumble, which makes a mana. They play a Saga. Yeah, we've seen the blue-white affinity draw 3, 7 by too steep. I mean, Thought Monitor is also 7, so we have something pretty good to compare it to. So they find a Shifting Woodland, which can't win the game for them this turn because they've already played their land, but would be able to copy Breach. And that is the card they choose to put into their hand. Now, I do have Field of Ruin effects as like insurance for that, so I don't need to feel too scared. If I double field them next turn, the Woodland would enter tapped. But if they had a Mox, they could do it. Volatile Fault. I'm not very interested in that one. Tomorrow's the weekly announcement. We'll know for sure. Surely this can't be it. Yeah, I mean, it's... they fixed it before, so in theory it could be fixed again, huh? What is this? Another Rumble? I don't really know how they... Oh, just sacking a Clue. Sure. Tommy was so good. It just, like, stalls so much. Yeah, the Mox Amber was tapping for blue-green at that point. So we can finally kill this Tamiya, but we still have another Tamiya to contend with. Could maybe green sun for Titania here if we find a Ghost Quarter. There's a Relic. That Relic is really nice here. Okay, so I think what I want to do is I want to Endurance my opponent and then have Relic in play so I have the most graveyard hate available. And I think I would also like to go Ramunap Excavator and then field my opponent twice. So I can go Excavator. Okay, that's 4 mana tapped. Excavator into field, land, field. Wait, sorry. Field from the yard, field. And then I can evoke Endurance. And then I can play the Relic, but I won't have the extra mana available. If you knew this before. Yeah, I'm not planning on Endurancing before, y'all. But thank you. I believe you can evoke from the graveyard with Retrace. I can't, like, for a second I thought I miscounted, but it's just lagging so bad. I can't, the mana's not floating. Isn't Retrace an alternate cost like Evoke, so you wouldn't be able to Retrace with Evoke? You can Retrace with Evoke. Retrace with Evoke. Not everything is Snapcaster Mage. Do you think Necro is underexplored? Yeah, a little bit. I would say so. Doesn't seem like there's really anybody working on it. Spike, there's no room for Eldrazi Temple Yevamaya. Bolt, I've told you so many times not to play Urborg in your field decks. You should know to not play it in this deck. Yeah, and I don't think there's room for Eldrazi Temple either. It's very funny that we started this match saying that the lag was much better. And it didn't seem like there was like any lag at all at the beginning of the match. Yeah, they'll have basics for future fields. Okay, your turn. When are we getting a green coffers? Good question. That's when we'll play Yavimaya in these kind of decks. Okay, long match. We're 4-0 in this league. Let's try to get the trophy. Last seen 2 days ago on Ruby Storm. Well, I really did not come prepared for Ruby Storm. So hopefully that's not what they're on at the moment. You could live with Shifting. Oh yeah, Shifting Woodland Excavator. I was also thinking about that yesterday. But yeah. Okay, they're on a multi 4. Bloodstained Mire. Scary. Save me, Dryad Arbor. Can I beat Storm? Seems like the actual worst matchup possible. Rin's Resolve into Ritual Glimpse. I think I need to hold up the Endurance. Get that for K command. Artist Talent, huh? How are we starting 3-0-4-1-0? The bot always is broken when you start a league. When you start a stream mid-league. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the E6 here, and if I need to Endurance, maybe I can draw a green card. Got a lot of green cards in the deck, and I think I need to be a bit more proactive, and I can also hope to not need to Endurance here after they've mulled to 4, and they're probably just going to play an Artist Talent here. Have you made a deck with Green Sun and Ruination Rioter? Is that worth pursuing? We have done that. Yeah, and I am a Ruination Rioter fan. So they are going to lose the Row, so their hand is going to be Artist Talent, 2 mystery cards. They're going to have a bunch of spawn tokens. I'm thinking about trying to tap my mana in a way that I have Hardcast Endurance or K Command for 1 available. It doesn't seem like K Command for 1 is going to be super realistic, I guess. Shoot, and neither is Endurance because I mistapped. And I missed on my land to be able to do it all here. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's that important to get the Freestrider triggers here at this juncture. Interesting to play land from Hand of Exile. Yeah, I guess they want the spawns. Uro seems pretty safe to unban now. Love the card. Burnt Out and Timeless. I don't know. I think this is still a deranged opinion, but maybe I'm wrong. I think that Uro in combination with Malevolent Rumble, Shifting Woodland, Fanatic of Ronis Consigned to Memory is a very scary thing. Uro would also be the de facto best card advantage spell in Modern. And in fact, that is the reason why you're asking for. That is the reason you're asking for it to be unbanned, is because it would be the de facto best card advantage spell in the format, and you want something like that because you're a control player. You know, I don't think anybody who's not a control player who really wants an insane card advantage spell is asking for Uro to be unbanned. And I actually think Uro is better than the One Ring, but it's less versatile than the One Ring. So it's like Uro is better than the One Ring in control decks, but obviously the One Ring goes in like Ugin's lab decks and other shit and like Boros. So like, you know, it's more like Uro is more powerful but less versatile. Is Chromox safe to unban? It's not safe is not the word I would use. No, not the Blue Belcher format. Yeah, Uro is also like totally miserable. Like the card is just like one of like the least fun Magic cards of all time. Since there is not a single control deck playable, I need it. Well, so here is I know you're a control pervert, but just try to think about the rest of the format for a second, okay? Instead of unprinting like or making legal the best card advantage spell of all time, a really unbalanced card that people hate, what if we made a new card that is cool and interesting and fun to play against, and not Uro? You know, this is a huge problem with dialogue around Modern, is that players refuse to just think about new cards possibly being printed into the format. They just insist on unbanning their broken pet cards. Yes, I'm totally fine with it. I know you're totally fine with it because you're a control pervert, but I'm saying, or maybe I'm misunderstanding, but you should never, I think you should, I could live my entire life and Uro would never be unbanned and I'd be really happy. That card is so miserable. Mingu seems to think Uro would suck in today's Modern. I don't know. It's like, you can go Uro, put a land into play, consign your Uro trigger. This is like, It's so insane that you can like consign is like close to main deckable. It becomes easy main deckable with Uro, where you just get to put the land into play. Uro's in play. Graveyard Hate, you don't care about it because you just consign to scam it into play. Fanatic of Veronis gets to tap for 4 mana. Here gets to control a counterspell deck. You just play Shifting Woodland, activate on your Uro attack. They can never, ever, ever win. Malevolent Rumble is like the best, is already ridiculously strong. You want to play Malevolent Rumble in the Uro world? It's just like, for me, I just think this is too much. There's a Pass in Flames. The commentary during RC was talking about Hogak being let loose. Yeah, and this is the brain rot of like modern dialogue. People like unironically talk about unbanning Hogak. Can we just design cards that are not abysmally awful to play against? Like Hogak is like top 5 worst designed cards of all time. Hogak is easily among the top 5 worst designed modern cards ever. What are we talking about? What happened to previous league? When you start a stream mid-league, the record tracker breaks. So we are currently 4-0 in a league against Storm. Somehow, it seems we're going to steal game 1 against Storm. Now I need the full top 5. Okay, worst design cards for Modern all time. Valky is weirdly really high up the list for me. Valky is weirdly really high up the list. Maybe not so weirdly. Is Field of Dead too strong for Modern? I think so. Okay, I'll respond to your question if you answer me this. Did you sincerely? I'm just trying to poll. Did you play Modern when Field of the Dead was legal? Did you play with or against Field of the Dead? And I will answer your question sincerely from the heart. But I just want to know first. With the 56 months, thank you. Welcome back. Yes, I did. Okay, cool. I'm just wondering. Yeah, I think Field of the Dead was also a card that was just terrible to play against. Like, it would be at the very least a huge buff to Amulet Titan, and I do still think the gameplay against Amulet Titan has gotten worse and worse and worse as like Modern's lifespan has gone up. The gameplay against Amulet Titan, just every year it feels like it gets more miserable, where the combos become more convoluted, and you just every year it feels like you have to sit and watch them play longer and longer. Especially this is like really true with like Shifting Woodland, Lumra, the land that copies the creature loops. The gameplay, like I don't think there's any worse gameplay in Modern compared to when you're playing against Amulet Titan. I am someone that believes when you're cultivating the Modern format, the game needs to be somewhat fun. It can be polarizing, it can be exciting, it can be something that you feel really passionate about, but it is important on some level that your Modern format be fun so that people can play the game. And I kind of don't think that there's any deck right now that's less fun than Amulet Titan. And so unbanning Field of the Dead, a card that just makes Amulet Titan so resilient to like non like Blood Moon interaction, I just don't think would basically ever be a good decision. So we cut the baubles, we bring in these, and we can go down to like... I want to keep these in as answers to Ral. I'll go down like 2 rumbles. Trickery, Uro, Hogak, Field of Dead, Luris are probably top 5 words to decide. Yeah, Luris is definitely one of them. I would put Valky over Trickery though, because like they came out at the same time, and Valky was definitely the more annoying stuff. Fair point, appreciate your opinion. Yeah, it's okay. But my main point, so this is also a problem, right? Where I'm trying to make this point that the biggest problem in like Modern discourse for years has been that players are uninterested in talking about new cards that could come, like design space that could help the Modern format grow, could help gameplay become better. Players are like completely uninterested in having that conversation, and they're only interested in, Spike, can we unban my pet card? My really annoying, miserable pet card that was banned for being miserable. in fact, this discourse has happened so much. I don't know. It's just like I would like to kind of see newer attitudes that are less focused on the old cards and more focused on the new. I think that it's important to move forward. It's important to move away, especially from the 2019-2020 era of card design. Players have no say in new card design. In fact, the design team seems pretty unaware what players want sometimes. Players have no say in new card design. In fact, the design team seems pretty unaware what players want sometimes. Sometimes, sure, I agree with that. I don't know. Players also have no say in like what gets banned and unbanned, right? In fact, if players did get a say, things would be almost definitely worse with all of these unbanned Uro, unbanned Hogak comments, unbanned Field of the Dead comments. I think, in fact, so often, like the most common unbanned comment is like, the most common unbanned suggestion is, let's just unban everything and see what happens, brother. Let's just unban everything and see what happens. Like the amount of times people say this is just so silly. Like it's just such an old, old tired thought at this point. Even, like you know what I mean. So I think maybe you could even say the play design team is disconnected from what players want, and that's in a lot of ways largely because players are disconnected from what players want. How many basics are they on? It's not that many, right? But I feel like it could be like as low as like 3 if they're really playing a lot of surveillance, which it seems like they are. Probably closer to like 5. All right, I see the top list I'm seeing is playing 5 double commercial district. Or this is commercial district, not elegant parlor. And we just look at a Boros build. This one's playing 4. I mean, there's only one in play. I guess I'm mostly thinking, do I want to Ghost Quarter main phase or not? I think I'll just do it so that I can get a Freestrider trigger, which I think like it's kind of nice to be able to get this into play, and then I can Titania back Ghost Quarter, and then I can either be able to Ghost Quarter myself to present lethal next turn, or I can pop the Relic. Now I could do both. You started with black hit command decks, then blue, now green. Which have I enjoyed the most? I guess I don't exactly know which I've enjoyed the most, but I think that this one has been the best one so far. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in being able to Ghost Quarter myself here to present lethal next turn. We have the Relic pop up also as well for this Past in Flames. Feeling okay. Could definitely lose here. Been playing a white K command mid-range deck. Yeah, we haven't done white yet. I was like really interested in like Essence Reliquary again. I need to maybe move on from that card, but yeah, I think a white build could be good too. I love discussing what new Titans would do on ETB. What do you think the Izzet or Celestian Titans do on ETB to match Phlage's power? I don't know if so one thing is it's like you could be a lot more risky with the Celestian Titan potentially than you could the Izzet Titan because of Arena of Glory, right? But I'm not sure. Let me focus on this game a bit. So yeah, finding this Ral, not super ideal for me. They only have 3 cards left in their hand. One of them is a Glimpse. 2 mana left. Lost another flip. Glimpsing into another Glimpse, another Glimpse, and a Past in Flames. They play a Mountain. They cast a Glimpse. They've got 1 mana available. If we see no rituals, no Manamorphoses, this game is probably over, giving us our trophy in the first league with this deck. I don't see a ritual. I don't see a Manamorphose. Is it would be electrolyzed? That would be pretty cool. Did they say they're going to make more Titans? I don't know if they're going to make more Titans. Oh, I guess we always had this up because this would make our land enter untapped. So they are dead, even if they. Oh, they get the. I missed the spawn tokens. Oh shit! I didn't realize they were getting this many spawns. Okay, this game continues. I see 3 basics over there. Yeah, so I guess it seems like I should be focusing on fielding them. Let's go ahead and I think we can attack with everything. We don't need to play the other Freestrider. Or the matchups. So I played against Blue-White Control, played against Breach, we're playing against this stack. I'll see if I can remember the other two. Could a white version of this deck be artifact focused? Maybe. I don't know if I would necessarily possibly call anything like I don't a white version of this deck. Do you mean just a white mid range deck that plays K command? At that point, we're maybe stretching our definitions a bit, but it'd be a sad game to lose. Do they not have another basic? I feel like they should have one more. Yeah, I did do a blue white build with K command. Ooh, baby. I mean, I almost feel like they're baiting me, but whatever. It's not very good bait if it is. I think I'm not going to not play the halfling so they can't kill the spawn and then stop me from popping the relic. Is there a particular thing Woodlands is good for? Just copying Lookouts after move? Yeah, copy Woodland, Titania, 6, Spore Frog, Safekeeper. Just a good utility land that enters untapped and taps for your color. Woodland, very versatile card. Can be just good utility land. Can kind of just do everything. Okay, so we did get to Stone Rain our opponent a couple times there, which is nice. They have a lot of mana. They only have 2 cards in their hand, and we have a Relic up for Past in Flames. Can we hold here? Ooh, the Blue-White Gearhulk. Cool. Very excited. Riptide Gearhulk. It's 5 mana. Double Strike Prowess. Prowess on a blue-white creature is weird, but cool. When this creature enters, for each opponent, put up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls into its owner's library, third for a drop. It's from top. It's a commander card. It is a commander card. Bummer. Fetch, concede, baby. Trophy! Our first league with this deck. I don't know if I can remember. Let me see if I... could pull up real quick.